Well, good day. Welcome to Therapeutic Yoga. Today's focus of our class is entirely on our low back. So we're going to really think about how we can find space in our low back today. So that means we need to address our hip flexors, those things that get too compressed and too tight and limit our walking and standing when we sit too much. It also means that we're going to be working on the joints of our back to kind of open them up, because that's where we really find that space in our low back that alleviates tension and compression and for some of us, pain. So find yourself in a seated position. We're going to use a bolster today. Now, if you don't have a bolster at home, something that just elevates you off the floor, like a nice good seat cushion or something, will do. And you will also need a yoga block and, of course, your yoga mat for class. All right, so in your seated position, find yourself in easy pose, meaning basically, crisscross applesauce, or what is often known in the pediatric world as tailor sitting. So in this particular position, just start with taking your pelvis and rolling it backward and forward a couple of times. And as you roll it back and forward, literally start to feel. Do you feel any sort of tension in your low back as you roll? As you start to continue to roll, think about kind of oscillating and finding the middle of the road. So if your pelvis was kind of like a pendulum of a clock, start to make your rolls a little bit smaller until you kind of make your way right to the very center of each end ranges of motion. In that position, likely for you at home, you're sitting on your sit bones or pretty close to it. But what you can probably feel is that it's easy to pick your legs up. So what that means is all of the weight is still going through the back of your spine. So now sit yourself up nice and tall. And now that you're sitting nice and tall, allow yourself from your hips to just gently hinge a little bit forward. Very good. Now, in that position, we just need to kind of get our shoulder blades in a little bit of a better position. So today, just drop your hands down to the side of your bolster. With your right shoulder and your shoulder blade, just gently shrug it up a tiny bit. Literally turn your hand all the way around so that your thumb is to the back of the bolster now, and pull your shoulder blade back and down. Let's do that exact same thing on the opposite side. So kind of shrug the left shoulder up a little bit, rotate, turn that thumb around, and then pull that shoulder blade back and down. Very nice. Now, in that position, feel the lower inner part of your shoulder blade sitting nice and tall. See if you can kind of squeeze through those muscles. So as you squeeze through those muscles, they kind of set your shoulder blades on top of your rib cage, exactly where we need them. So keep that squeeze, keep yourself nice and tall. And while you're here, hinge yourself enough through your hips that you feel weight go through your legs. So get to the point that you can't pick your legs up. Now from here, just gently bend your elbows and lay your hands onto your thighs, lengthen your neck and settle your chin, and kind of let your chin kind of go into your throat a little tiny bit. All right, now, in this position, we're just going to start with a couple of diaphragmatic breaths, just to start to relax our nervous system downward. And then we're going to do what is called alternate nostril breathing today as our kind of mindfulness or centering or meditation, if you even want to use that word, but just to kind of get ourselves nice and present in the moment. So keeping that neck long and that chin gently tucked, close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. Place your tongue on the roof of the mouth. That's where we want that tongue to rest. That's where it should live, in a resting position. Take a nice, slow, deep inhale into your nose. Let your belly expand outward. And then keeping that tongue on the roof of the mouth closed, slowly exhale out through that nose. As you exhale, feel the belly just falling inward. Place your hand on your belly if you even need to make sure that you're diaphragmatic breathing. So nice, slow inhale inward. And then through that nose, slowly, slowly exhaling, feeling that belly kind of drop inward. I'm going to do that one more time. Inhaling slowly, belly comes out. And then exhaling slowly, belly just kind of falls slightly inward. Excellent. Now, in this position, using your right hand, we're going to use our ring finger and our thumb. So with these index and middle finger, you can kind of turn them down, or you can take your middle and your index finger and place it right to the center of your brow, whichever is more comfortable for you. But your thumb is going to be responsible for your right nostril, and your index finger is going to be responsible for your left nostril. And so basically what we're going to be working on doing is closing a nostril, inhaling through the one that's open, opening one nostril, closing the other nostril, and exhaling and inhaling through that one. So I'm going to talk you through the sides. Make sure you're sitting nice and tall, neck is long, chin is tucked, weight is through the legs, tongue is to the roof of the mouth. Close your eyes if you like to, and take your thumb and gently close your right nostril now. Now take an inhale into your left nostril for 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your left nostril, open your right nostril as you hold your breath. Then exhale out the right nostril for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that right nostril open. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the right nostril, open the left. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into the left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath, switch nostrils, open up the right nostril, and exhale out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the right nostril open. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the right, open the left. Exhaling, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more times. Inhaling into the left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding your breath, switching nostrils, opening up the right. Exhaling, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping the right open, inhaling, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing the right as you keep your breath held. Opening the left, exhaling, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final round. Left nostril, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing left, opening right, exhaling, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping right open, inhaling, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding breath, switching nostrils, opening the left, exhaling, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing your right hand down, giving yourself a couple really good sniffs in. Try that again. One more time. Hopefully you increase the moisture in those sinuses of your nostril while you're working on isolating the breathing. And at the end, you can kind of pull all that moisture up, and now you've got a nice open airway to do your yoga class. Incidentally, I was reading a great book this past week called Breath by James Nesner. And in that book, he talks about yoga practitioners that can do alternate nostril breathing without even closing their nostrils. So they're so focused, they can actually breathe into their nostril without even closing the other. It's absolutely phenomenal research that he reports in that book. All right, so let's get on to our back today. So let's stay in our seated position for a second. We're gonna do some seated cat-cows. Now, if you're somebody that spends a lot of time in sitting, it is really important to know how to do seated cat-cows with breathing so that you can give your low back joints, your low back muscles, basically lotion or movement or nutrients or whatever you want to think about. So when our joints stay static in our low back, that's when they become a problem for us. So even though you might have to be sitting like on a plane or in a car, Doing cat-cows and sitting is a really excellent way to kind of get the movement happening so you can ease any tension that might be in your low back. So take your hands and place them onto your knees, but not directly over your kneecaps. And sit nice and tall. And then take an inhale and pull your belly forward, arch your low back, lift your chest, maybe even look up and take your chin towards the ceiling. And then now as you exhale, pull your belly button way back, tuck your tailbone under, straighten your arms, stretch between your shoulder blades, chin to chest, and look into that belly button. All right, inhale, use your biceps to even pull your rib cage forward, belly forward, arch your low back, tailbone comes up, chin goes up. Now, exhale through that whole movement as you arch yourself back. Bring that chin to the chest, look into that belly button. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhaling, lifting nice and high, lengthening the spine, chin comes up, tailbone, tip it up as high as you can. And then exhaling, really tuck the tailbone under, pull the belly button in, chin to chest, look at that belly, spread those shoulder blades. Beautiful. And then come on back. So that allows you to move the spine forward and backwards to create that nutrition. To go along with that, if you're sitting, again, somewhere where you're statically sitting that you can't really move, you also want to open up the side of your body. So let's do that next. So nice and simply, just slowly just take your right hand and bring it up and over your head. Don't worry about how you do it today, just that you do it. So I want the focus to be on that you're going to lift your right elbow up towards the ceiling in a second. Take your left hand and hold your bolster. If you don't have bolster underneath you, let's say you're sitting in a car, then you just hold the side of the car seat. In this position, take a nice deep inhale and lengthen up through your spine. And then as you exhale, reach that right elbow up towards the ceiling, lengthen through that right side of your body, but sit into your right sit bone. Now hold yourself right here. Take a deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out, reach the right elbow up, sit into that right sit bone. Yeah, let's do that one more breath. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Inhale, lengthen last time. And on this exhale, slowly drop the elbow back down, bring the rib cage back into its neutral position. All right, let's try that on the other side. So just kind of wrapping the hand around the head, but the elbow is what I want you to focus on. So you're getting that length through your latissimus muscle. Right hand onto the bolster, or imagine if you were on a normal seat, you would just kind of place it down and onto the seat. Okay, take that inhale and start to lift that elbow nice and high. And then as you exhale, sit down into that left sit bone. You've got it. Good. In that position, inhale, lengthening that elbow high, but as you exhale, pushing that sit bone low. Beautiful. Deep inhale into your belly here. And exhaling out. One more nice deep breath, inhaling into your belly here. And exhaling out. Take that last deep inhaling here. And then as you exhale, slowly dropping the elbow down, kind of getting the pelvis back into its normal position. Very nice. Now, before we make our way down onto our hands and knees to kind of keep opening up through your spine, I want you to do something nice and simple for me. Just slowly slide off the side of your bolster. Take your bolster and kind of turn it to the side. Allow your hip to be to the bottom part of the center of that bolster. Now, if you're using a cushion, you might need to double it up. Stack your knees one on top of the other, and then just gently let yourself lay up and over that bolster. You can rest your hand underneath your head if you want to. You can allow your head to come completely down if you want to, whichever you really like. If you have any sort of vertigo or vestibular issues, even using a block or something to keep your head in neutral might be helpful for you. Now, in this position with that right arm, reach that arm nice and high. Take a deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, reach that arm up and open. Now, hopefully, as you reach that arm up and open, you felt a little bit of a pull upward on that right side of your low back. In this position now, take that left lower leg and kind of push it up into the cushion. That right lower leg, take a nice deep inhale here and slide that leg down your mat. As you exhale, give yourself a little bit of a tuck of your tailbone. Beautiful. Now, think about your fingertips, think about your toes. Take an inhale and make that as long as you can. And as you exhale, just gently tuck that tailbone a slight amount. So just slight engagement of pulling the belly in and pulling the tailbone under. Now, holding that position, 2 deep diaphragmatic breaths here. Nice deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. Nice deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. Beautiful. Right leg, take an inhale, slide that leg in, and as you exhale, just relax there. Right hand, inhale, lift it up to the ceiling, and then as you exhale, just gently bring it down onto your bolster. Now, using top arm and bottom elbow, take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, push yourself back up into a seated position. Now, you can just turn yourself 180 at home. I am going to kind of just gently flip myself, mostly so that I can stay facing the screen and you can see exactly what I'm doing with my body. But take your right hip now and place your right hip next to your bolster, right thigh next to the bolster, stack both knees. And then in this position, slowly allow yourself to lower down. Again, same idea here. You can simply allow yourself to rest your hand underneath your head, or if you want to, gently bring your arm straight out and let your head rest downward. Any sort of vertigo or vestibular issues, if you want to keep your neck in neutral, or even arthritic issues in your neck, just kind of place a block or a pillow or something underneath your head here. Now, in this position, let's take that same inhale, lift that left arm up, and then as you exhale, reach that arm up and over your head here. Very nice. So as you reach it, you should feel the lengthening through the side of your body and even a little bit of a tug through that low back area. So keep that arm in that nice, good lengthened position here. Now let's go to that right leg, push it up and into the bolster so that that spine stays in a fairly neutral position. Take that inhale and start to slide that left leg down. And then as you exhale, lengthen that leg fully. Now, in this position, from the fingertips to the toes, take an inhale, and how can you make your side body longer? And then as you exhale, keep that length, but tuck that tailbone under a little tiny bit. Aha, there's that back muscle we really want today. Let's try that again. Inhale, lengthen the fingertips, lengthen the toes, and then exhale, just slightly tuck that tailbone a little bit under. Now, maintain yourself in this position. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly, then exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhale into the belly, and then exhaling out. Left leg, take that inhale, bring that left leg back in and exhale, relaxing here. And then with that left hand, inhale, lift it up. And then on the exhale, rest it back onto your bolster. Now, using the right elbow and the left hand, take a nice deep inhale here. And on the exhale, nice good core response as you push yourself back up into a seated position. All right, so we're not done with the bolster. But what I'd like you to do is to take your bolster and just gently place it beside your body. We're going to go into our hands and knees here for a position. So gaze back at your knees. Make sure that your knees look about hip distance. So that's 2 fists width. And then as you're in that position, kind of look back and make sure that your feet and your ankles line up with your knees. And then take your hips and stack them directly on top of your knees. Walk your hands forward so that you feel that your wrists and your elbows stack directly underneath your shoulders. Now, in this position, check in that your index fingers are forward, thumbs come nice and in so you get that stretch through your carpal bones and your carpal tunnel and all of those muscles through those thumbs that tend to get imbalanced when we get arthritis in our thumbs. But let those outer 3 fingers kind of lay out there. Now put weight into the index fingers and the thumbs and make sure that your elbows aren't hyperextended, but slightly soft and straight. All right. In this position, lengthen your neck and settle your chin into your throat. Gaze downward between those thumbs. Let's go through 4 cat-cows today. So in this position, take that inhale, sink the belly, lift the tailbone, shoulder blade back and down, lengthen the neck and look upward for me. And then as you exhale, really pull that belly button up and in, tuck the tailbone under, spread the shoulder blades, lengthen the neck, chin to the chest, look into that belly button. Inhale, sink it all down, shoulder blades back and down, tailbone up, lengthen the neck, chin up, gaze upward for me. Now exhale and keep exhaling, pull that belly button in, arch that back, spread through the shoulder blades, tuck the tailbone, chin to the chest, look to the belly button. 2 more times, inhaling, sinking everything down, lengthening up through that neck and look upward. Exhaling, curling everything under, tuck the tailbone, ladies and gentlemen, chin to chest, gaze at the belly button. Last time, inhaling all the way through the movement, get that tailbone lifted, get that chin lifted, look up with those eyeballs. And finally, exhale, tuck everything under. Now really tuck the tailbone, pull the belly button in, spread the shoulder blades, chin to chest, belly stays in, gaze at that belly button. Now, can you keep yourself in this really angry cat and slowly sit and sit and sit and sit yourself back into a child's pose? Keep yourself into your child's pose. Gently drop your head down towards the floor. If your head does not meet the floor, allow yourself to use a bolster, a block, a blanket, a pillow, something to support your head until you get to the point that your back opens up enough that the crown of your head can touch the floor. And then gently rest your elbows down into the side of you. Now in this position, start to feel like you're slowly settling your sit bones towards your heels, but you're also keeping that tailbone tucked under and that belly pulled inward today. Now, start to relax yourself in this position. Check in that your tongue is still resting in the roof of your mouth. Close your eyes, but before you close your eyes, check back that your toes haven't touched to one another. Spread them back out so they line up with your hips and your knees. And slowly let yourself start to settle in this position now. So take a nice deep inhale into your belly, feel it into your thighs, and then as you exhale, just imagine your tailbone being pulled downward towards the floor. Deep inhale into the belly, into the thighs, and exhaling and slowly settling that tailbone down. Keep breathing for me in your inhales and in your exhales. All right, one last deep inhale into that belly. And then exhaling out, exhaling out, exhaling out. Beautiful. Now, bring yourself up into a kneeling position. Find your bolster or something. Place it so that you're holding that bolster onto the left side of you. Now, in that position, I want you to come up into a kneeling position and take your left leg forward. Have yourself so that your bolster is kind of lined up with your left leg and your right hip is directly on top of your right knee. Now, if you have sensitivity with your knees, simply allow yourself to double, triple, quadruple your yoga mat so that your knee has a little bit more padding underneath you. With that alignment of the hip underneath or on top of that knee, place your hand on your pelvis here. Now, here's what I want you to do today. We're really going to open the psoas muscle or the hip flexor that attaches to the low back, but we're going to do it in a very particular manner with our breath today. So in this position that you're in, think about what you would do with your cat-cow here. So if you inhaled, you're going to arch your back a little bit, right? And if you exhale, you really kind of tuck that tailbone under. That's where you start to get the opening. But we're not going to maintain that stretch today. We're going to do it through breath. So inhale, just kind of relax your tailbone, arch your back a little bit. And then as you exhale, really pull those abdominals tight and tuck that tailbone, even feel the hamstring tightening here. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, really tuck that tailbone under. Still hold on to your bolster for balance. Inhale, let it go. One more time. Let's do 4 in total. Exhale, tuck, 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 tuck. Very good. Slowly release that. Come back down onto your hands and knees if you need to. And then switch your bolster to your opposite side. Find yourself kneeling so that now where you're kneeling is onto your left knee with your right leg up. Once you're in that position, allow yourself to place the bolster near your right leg. Have that left hip in line with that left knee. Keep it nice and straight. Hand on the pelvis if you need to, just to kind of figure out where's my pelvis in the space. And then in that position, the same idea, 4 breaths. So we're not doing a static stretch today. It's really more about kind of creating movement and space all together. So take the inhale and arch your back a little bit. And then as you exhale, really tighten the abdominals, use that hamstring and tuck that tailbone under. You've got it. Inhaling, let that go. Now, on that exhale, really tuck under and really tighten and feel the opening through the front of that hip flexor. 2 more times. Inhaling and exhaling and inhaling and exhaling and tuck and tuck and tuck and tuck. Beautiful job, ladies and gentlemen. Just slowly take your bolster, lay it down beside you. Find yourself back on your hands and knees for a quick moment. I just got to straighten my mat back out. In your hands and knees, check back in. Are your knees hip distance? Are your feet directly behind you? Now, one last opening for the side body before we make it down onto our backs today. So here's what I want you to do. We're really going to open through those joints of our low back as well as our latissimus dorsi. So just windshield wiper your feet to the left side of your mat. So look back for me and see that your right heel kind of sits in the center of your mat. So if you can imagine, what we're going to work on doing is trying to target sitting into our right heel, but we're going to also add a side bending of our body here. So in this position now, take your right hand and cross it all the way over your left hand. That might even mean off of your mat for you. And then take your left hand and hold onto your right wrist. Now, take a deep inhale here, and on the exhale, tuck the tailbone under, pull the belly button in, and sit back towards that right heel. When you feel like I can't go any further, gently make sure you're lengthening your neck, settling your chin. Take a gaze towards your right knee. Now, inhale, reach that right hand harder, higher up. Hold it with the left hand, and then as you exhale, can you tuck your tailbone under anymore? I hope you feel that in your right low back. Now, 2 deep diaphragmatic breaths here. Nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Inhaling into the belly and exhaling out. Slowly coming back up. Finding your way to hands and knees, just one little cat-cow here. So take that inhale, sink the belly, sink the spine, shoulder blades back, lengthen the neck and look upward. And then as you exhale, tuck that all under, chin to chest, belly, gaze into that belly button, and then come back to the center position. Now, windshield wiper your feet to the left. So gaze back between your knees. Do you see your left heel between your knees? Once you have that, left hand, bring it up and over the right. Right hand, grab that left wrist so that it doesn't slide back with you. Take that deep inhale here, and on the exhale, tuck the tailbone under and sit back into the heel. Now, as you sit back into the heel, take a nice inhale here and see if you can lengthen your left arm anymore. And then on the exhale, tighten those abdominals, tailbone tuck under, lengthen the neck, chin in, and gaze at the left knee. Deep diaphragmatic breaths here. So take a deep inhale into your belly, then exhaling out. One more time. Nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Slowly bringing yourself back up onto hands and knees. Making sure you have your block with you before you lay down. Place your block somewhere beside you so you'll have it in hand's reach. And then slowly lay yourself down through your left or your right side. Once you're on your side, then gently roll yourself over onto your back. I always say, don't kind of just lay yourself straight back down, because if you have weak abdominals and you have tight back muscles, you can easily injure the discs of your low back merely from the fact that you're trying to lay down. So always lay down through your side so that you do not cause any sort of ligament injuries to your discs. All right, so we're on our back now. Kind of make sure that you feel like your pelvis is nice and flat on there. So that might be a little bit more of a pelvic tilt under, or a little tip, depending on you at home. Have your shoulder blades underneath you and just kind of gently bring your arms out to the side for a moment. You've got it. Now, in that position, what I want you to do is lengthen your neck, settle your chin, place your tongue on the roof of your mouth, gently close your eyes, and let's see if we can do 3 of those really good diaphragmatic breaths again, like we did at the very beginning of class. So if you need to, just gently take your left or your right hand and place it onto your belly and keep that neck nice and long. Take that inhale into your nose, nice and slow. Belly expands, and then as you exhale, nice and slow, you feel that belly slowly drop downward towards the mat, and so should your back. Try that again for me. Nice deep inhale, and then slow exhale. Just let the air go out slowly through the nose. One more time, nice deep inhale. And slow exhaling out, exhaling out, exhaling out. Beautiful. Now let's take our right knee, bring it up to your chest. Have the hands around the shin bone. Check in that your knee and your ankle and your foot all align. Take a deep inhale here. And on the exhale, pull that knee nice and close into your chest. Shoulder blades are back and down. Let's do that again. Nice deep inhale in. And exhaling, pulling it into the chest. You've got it. Left leg, take a deep inhale here. And on the exhale, straighten that left leg all the way out. Now with that right leg, one more time, deep inhale in. And exhale, pull that knee into your chest. Now, we did some good hamstring work, whether you knew it or not, when we were doing that hip flexor opening. So what I want you to do now is take your hands to the underside of your knee, pull your elbows back and down, so really secure your elbows, and take those toes and point them up towards the head. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and literally gaze at your right big toe for me, please. Now, keeping the knee to the chest, take an inhale here, straighten the knee what you can, but don't let the knee come away from the chest. And then as you exhale, slowly relax it down. Let's do that 4 more times. Inhaling, straightening. Exhaling, relaxing. Keep the breath through the nose, nice and slow. Let your belly expand. Inhaling, belly into the thigh. Exhaling, relaxing the leg, lengthen the neck, settle the chin, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more times. Inhaling, lengthening through the hamstring and the sciatic nerve, and exhaling and relaxing. And one last time, nice deep inhale, lengthening through that leg, and exhaling and exhaling and exhaling. Very good. Left leg, take an inhale, slide it up. And on the exhale, release the right foot to the floor. All right, let's repeat that all over on the opposite side. So take your left knee to your chest, have the hands around the shin bone. Take a look, please, that your hip and your knee and your foot are all in alignment and you're not in any sort of hip rotation. In this position, take a nice deep inhale, and then on the exhale, pull that knee to the chest, shoulder blades and elbows back and down. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Let's do that one more time. Nice deep inhale in. Exhale, pull that knee nice and snug into that chest. Now, with the right leg, take an inhale, and then on the exhale, slide the right leg down straight, or as straight as you can get it, depending on your hip flexors. Go back to the left leg. Take one more nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, pull that knee up and into your chest. Now, Take your hands to the underside of your knee. Pull your elbows down, keep that knee into your chest, toes point them upward for me. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Allow yourself to keep that tongue on the roof of the mouth. Gaze at your left big toe. Now, knee, keep it sturdy to the chest. Take that inhale into your belly and straighten gently that left knee. As you exhale, slowly let it come back down. Breath only through the nose. See if you can get that diaphragm working. Inhale, straightening the knee. And exhaling, bringing it back down. 3 more to match what we did on the right. Inhaling, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. And exhaling. And 2 more times. Nice deep inhale in. And exhaling. And finally, inhaling, straightening that leg. Keep the gaze, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. And exhaling, slowly dropping that leg down. All right, now with your right leg, inhale, slide it up. And with your left leg, exhale, relax it to the floor. Now, take your trusty little yoga block here, place it into your right hand, take your right leg and bring it up and so that your ankle is over the left knee. Take your left hand and sit on your left hand. So really nice to open up through the hips to help the low back if the back is tight. So we want to do a little hip opener before we do a fabulous back opener. So in this position, allow yourself to sit a little bit more on your left hand than you even normally would. So really feel your pelvis kind of rotate a little bit to the left. Now, hand on block, block on knee, take a nice deep inhale. And on the exhale, start to push the knee away. Feel the stretch in the outside of the right hip, but don't unload the pressure off of the left hand. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Hold this right here. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly. And then exhaling out. Deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. Excellent. Slowly release the tension off of your left hand. Take the block away from your right knee. Uncross your right leg. Take your left leg and cross it up and over. Place the block in your left hand onto the left knee. Now that right hand, sit on it. So allow yourself to feel the right hand on your mat. Rotate the pelvis so that the gluteal muscles literally push the hand down into the mat. Block against the knee, hand holding onto the block. Take a deep inhale here. And then on your exhale, start to push that knee away. Keep your neck long, your chin tucked. Find that stretch into the outside of your left hip. Keep the weight into your right hand. Now holding this, lengthen the neck, settle the chin, tongue to the roof of the mouth. Close your eyes if you like to. 2 deep diaphragmatic breaths here. So nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. 1 more breath. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Beautiful. Slowly releasing, taking the hand underneath you. Block, you are finished with your block, so just gently place it somewhere beside you so it is out of your way. Now uncross your left leg. In this position, we're going to target the right low back first. So you stay where you are. I am just going to turn me so that you can see the right side of my body. I think it will be easier for you to be able to appreciate what I'm trying to do with this pelvis. Now, take your pelvis, please, and bring it all the way to the right edge of your mat. Once you have your pelvis to the right edge of your mat, slide your left leg down to the left corner of your mat and take your right leg with it. So you will likely feel a stretch in the outside of your right hip when you do that. But can you get your legs to the left side of your mat and your pelvis to the right side of the mat? Now that you're here, take the left leg and kind of bring it up and over that right leg so that it doesn't lose its position. This left pelvis might be already lifted up, so sit that left pelvis down onto the mat. Now, we are not done opening up through here yet. So now here's what I want you to do. Take your left hand and allow yourself to attempt to walk yourself down towards your right heel. So you're going to be in this kind of smiley face if you were to see yourself from above. I like to even take my right hand and reach it up and over to the top left corner of the mat. So can you get yourself in that full opening? Now make sure your rib cage didn't rotate, so the rib cage stays on the mat. Make sure the pelvis stays nice and straight on the mat. I really hope you at home are feeling that stretch through your right low back like I am. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, maybe even put a smile on your face. Take the deepest inhale you can into that right low back area. And then exhaling through that nose, letting yourself stay right where you are. One more nice deep breath here, please. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling. Beautiful. If your right arm is up overhead, bring it down and around first. Slowly slide the left leg up. Slowly slide the right leg up. Bring your pelvis back to the center of the mat for a second. And just do a couple of pelvic tilts up and down so that you can kind of gain a little bit of blood flow, a little bit of nutrients to that low back before we tackle that left side. All right, now take your pelvis, your entire trunk, and bring it to the left side of your mat. Once you have it to the left side of your mat, allow yourself to take the right leg to the right corner of the mat. The left leg matches it. So you should probably feel a stretch in the outside of your hip just doing that alone. If your pelvis rotated away, pull the pelvis back down onto the mat. Right leg, cross it up and over that left leg to kind of hold it in place. Otherwise, that left leg kind of scoots itself back over to the left side of the mat here. Now with your right hand, just gently side bend your body, walk yourself down towards that left heel until you feel that stretch through the left side of your low back. Oh, it should feel fabulous. Well, maybe that's not the word you're thinking at home. I'm not sure. Make sure your rib cage stays not rotated. Make sure your pelvis stays not rotated. Take that left arm and reach it up and over to that right corner of that mat. Lengthen your neck and settle your chin here. Now let's really get that breath into that left low back area. So take a deep inhale into your belly. And exhale out. Are you smiling? Is this enjoyable? Do you feel like you're making yourself taller? I do. Nice deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. Beautiful. Now with the left hand, bring it down first. Once the left hand is down, right leg, slide it up first. Left leg, slide it up second. Scoot yourself back to the center of your mat and work on tucking the tailbone, flattening the back, arching the back. So just traditional physical therapy pelvic tilts here for a minute. Just a few times. Imagine all that you're doing is just getting rid of all that toxic waste in those muscles and joints, and you're bringing in nutrition as you're just doing that pelvic tilt up and down and up and down and up and down. Very nice. Now, take your right knee to your chest, take your left knee to your chest. Oh boy, look at that space you've got in that low back now. Now, keep your knees towards your chest. Make sure you look down and see that your heels and your feet line up with. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, tongue to the roof of your mouth. Take a nice deep inhale here. And on the exhale, pull your knees into your chest. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, pull your knees into your chest. Now, very slowly, let your right leg come down. Let your left leg come down. Keep your feet flat on the mat. Keep your knees bent. Place your hands on the front of your pelvis here. Feel those hip pointers on the front of your pelvis. We're going to go through doing those pelvic tilts that you just did to kind of open up your low back, but we're going to do it now with breath. So let's go through this first one so that you understand what breath matches what motion, and then we'll do 4 or 5 of them really nice and really slow. So when we inhale, I want you to slowly arch your low back, feel your pelvis tilt towards your feet. As you exhale, abdominals really engage, back flattens, and tailbone kind of flattens and comes up towards the ceiling. All right, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, place your hands on your pelvis so you really feel this pelvic motion. Take that inhale, let the pelvis roll towards the feet, or 6 o'clock if you were thinking of a pelvic clock. Now exhale and really let that exhale happen as that back flattens. The abdominals, you even feel them tightening as that pelvic tilts upward towards 12 o'clock. Let's do 4 more here. Inhaling, 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 arching the back, allowing it to tilt towards the heels. And exhaling, exhaling, flattening the back, flattening the back, flattening the back some more. Keep your neck long, your chin tucked, tongue to the roof of your mouth. Inhale, gently arch the back, arch the back, arch the back. And then as you exhale, tighten the abdominals, flatten the back, lift that tailbone up as you feel it happen, but don't lift your pelvis. Let's do 1 more. Inhaling, inhaling, arching, allowing that pelvic motion to happen, creating motion and fluid into the low back, and exhaling. Now on this exhale, really flatten the back, really tighten the abdominals. You've got it. Allow yourself to even pull the rib cage down here. Good. Slowly relax. Walk your feet to the width of your mat. So right foot to the right edge of the mat, left foot to the left edge of the mat. We're going to do a little modified hip movement, spinal twisting, before we take that bolster back and really do a nice, slow spinal twist with our bolster. So start with your knees pointed straight up here. Shoulder blades are back and down. Arms can rest out to the side of you. Take a deep inhale into your belly, and then as you exhale, just gently let those knees fall towards that right. Really lengthen that left knee away from you. Take a deep inhale into your belly here. And exhaling out. Now on this inhale, bring the knees back up to the center. And now exhale, let those knees fall as far as they can to the left. Really lengthen that right knee away from you. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhale. Inhaling, knees up to the center. Exhaling to the right. Really lengthen that left knee away from you. Now, deep inhale into the belly here. And exhale. Inhaling the knees back up. And exhaling them to the left. Really pull that right knee away from your spine, ladies and gentlemen. Deep inhale into your belly. And exhale. 1 more round. Inhale the knees back up to the center. And exhale, drop them to that right side. Now really lengthen that left knee as far away as you can. Deep inhale into that belly. Ready? Deep inhale. And exhale. Final inhale up to the center with the knees. Last exhale, bring in those knees over to the left. Lengthen out through that right knee. Deep inhale into your belly here. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale your knees back up to the center. And then as you exhale, walk your feet inward. Slowly roll yourself over onto your side and use your hands to push yourself up. Now, grab your bolster And as you grab your bolster, what I want you to do is place the bolster close to the top of your mat. After you've placed your bolster close to the top of your mat, allow your right hip to come to that bottom of that bolster. Stack your knees up, stack your feet up, and see if you can get that shin to kind of line up with the side of your mat. Now, really allow yourself to kind of walk your hands forward onto the bolster. Can you look at your collarbones and see if you can line your collarbones up with the top of the mat? Now, if you did a good job, you might feel a little bit of stretch and soreness in your low back already. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a deep inhale and really pull your rib cage forward onto that bolster. And then as you exhale, slowly lay the chest down onto the bolster, drop your elbows down. 3 options for your head here. You can lengthen your neck and just kind of keep your nose and your forehead onto your bolster. The easy neck rotation is to come to the same side as your knees and your feet. The more difficult spinal twist is to rotate the left ear towards the bolster. So you pick what is good for your spinal twist today. Now, wherever you feel tension, that's where I want you to focus on your breath. So take a deep inhale into your diaphragm, into your belly. Feel into that tension, ladies and gentlemen. And then as you exhale, just let that tension go. Deep inhaling here. Exhaling, letting that tension go. Settle that left elbow downward. Relax through that left rib cage. Deep inhale inward. And exhaling, letting that go. Now just allow yourself to stay here for a moment and take a few breaths. Normal breaths or deep ones, whichever you prefer. And when you're ready, start to bring the crown of your head back in line with the bolster first. And once you've brought the crown of your head back in line with your bolster, kind of walk your hands underneath your shoulders and just gently push yourself up. Now, from here, you can take your bolster and flip to the other side of the mat, or just simply do a 180 with yourself. I am going to face my back to you for a minute, but you'll see my head in a moment. Left pelvis, place it so that it's touching that bolster. Have those knees and those shin bones and those feet line up with the side of the mat on the left side. Then take those hands and walk those hands forward on that bolster. Get that length through that low back and that rib cage. Now, in this position, allow yourself to take that deep inhale and lift that rib cage up and forward. And then on the exhale, allow yourself to drop the chest down. See if you can gently lower the elbows down onto the mat. Imagine if you can, your shoulder blades right now, your collarbones right now, kind of line up with the front of the mat. Check in that your knees are stacked here. Now, in this position, 3 positions for your head. You can kind of lengthen your neck and settle your chin and place your nose and your forehead onto your bolster. Option 2 is to rotate the head to the right, a little bit of an easier spinal twist. And then option 3 is to lengthen and rotate the head and go to the left. So the right ear is focusing and coming down onto the bolster. You pick your poison. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gently close your eyes. Rest that tongue to the roof of the mouth. Now feel where you feel tension in this modified spinal twist. Take a deep inhale into the belly, into that area, and slowly exhaling out. Nice deep inhaling in
And slowly exhaling out. One more real deep one here. Deep inhaling in. And slowly exhaling out. Now up to you at home. Stay with the deep breaths or allow yourself just to settle, relax, feel this spinal twist. Normal breaths, deep breaths. You pick what you want to do for these last few moments of class. Then walking those hands underneath those shoulders, pushing yourself up. And then once you get to that point, allow yourself to take your bolster and move it off to the side of you. You're already on your side, so just gently lay yourself down on your side. Roll yourself down on your back. Oh boy, I feel taller already. But in this position, just kind of play with your pelvis, get some nice good length in your low back. Shoulder blades, roll them back and underneath you. Rest your arms out to the side. One leg at a time, take your leg to the corner of your mat. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Place your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Let go of the weight through your legs. Let go of the weight through your arms. Just let the tension go. In this position, let's end where we began. 3 deep diaphragmatic breaths. Slow, deep inhale into your belly, ladies and gentlemen. And then exhale up through the nose. Let that air just gently fall out of the abdomen. Allow all of that area to relax. And again, nice deep inhale in. And slowly exhaling that air out through the nose, letting the belly fall, all of the joints, muscles, everything of the low back area saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And one more nice deep inhale into that diaphragm, into that belly. And slowly exhaling, letting that go, letting that air go, letting it settle. Now lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Tongue to the roof of your mouth, close those eyes. Give yourself this last moment just to be. Take your focus to your belly, not deep inhales and exhales, but just observing what air goes into your belly and what air comes out of your belly as you normally breathe. So we've spent a lot of time putting intention into nice deep diaphragmatic breathing today to really allow space in our low back. Now let go of that intention and just pay attention to the movement of that belly. Now slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes and wake up those ankles and wrists with maybe some circles or pumps or movement. And then when you feel like you're ready, sliding one leg up followed by the other. Slowly letting yourself roll over onto your side, resting there for a moment. Maybe just putting a smile on your face and appreciating the fact that you gave yourself this last hour just to heal your body. And then when you feel like you're ready, slowly using the left hand on the right elbow and on the exhale, pushing yourself up into a seated position. Finding yourself in an easy pose, tailor pose, crisscross applesauce, whichever you prefer to call it again. Hands to our hearts, smiles on our faces. Let's do a nice good sigh here. Deep inhale into the nose. Smile, open that mouth and sigh that air out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. Thank you for joining me.